Hello young mathematicians, my name is of course Mr. Rummel, and today we are on page 604 in your math books. Hopefully we remembered our math books tonight so we don't have to try and just listen to me the whole time, but if we did, I suppose we can let it slide for tonight. The title of the lesson is Dividing by Two-Digit Numbers, and again it's on page 604. The objectives for today: we're going to divide by a two-digit number. We will also use compatible numbers to estimate the solution to a problem. I bet you didn't notice I missed a period there. Alright, on page 605, the new concept says, in this lesson we will begin by dividing two-digit numbers. Dividing by two-digit numbers is necessary to solve problems like the following. And there's a story problem that's read. 144 players signed up for soccer. Okay, if the players are separated into 12 equal teams or 12 equal groups, how many players will be on each team? We'd of course take 144 and divide it by 12. Alright, when we divide by a two-digit number, we continue to follow the 4 steps of division. We divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. When we divide by two-digit numbers, the divide step takes a little more thought because we have not memorized the two-digit multiplication facts. Okay, but basically we're doing much the same thing. Does 12 go into 1? No, so there is no digit above the 1. Does 12 go into 14? Yes. How many times without going over it? Once. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 12 is of course 12. Okay, we subtract, we bring down, and we start over. Okay, 12 goes into 24 how many times? I'm going to guess twice. Alright, if you aren't sure, you can of course write it off to the side. 2 times 12 is 24. Subtract. There are no more numbers to bring down, so my division is complete. The question was 144 players are divided into 12 equal teams. How many players will be on each team? There will be 12 players. Alright. Example number 1, this is one that you'll want to write down on your sheet of paper, where it says example 1. It says divide 150 divided by 12. Now of course when we see this division problem, we want to write it like this, 150 divided by 12, so that we can work with it. Okay, how many times does 12 go into 1? 0 times. We do not put any value above the 1. How many times does 12 go into 15? Well, it's pretty close to 15, so just once. 1 times 12 is of course 12. We subtract, we bring down. Okay, 12 goes into 30 how many times? Well, earlier I knew that 12 times 2 was 24. That seems pretty close to 30, so I'm going to stick with that one. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. We subtract, we bring down. Looks like we have a remainder of 6. We write our remainder in fraction form, so we end with our quotient as a mixed number, 12 and 6 twelfths. I notice that the 6 is half of the 12, so this mixed number is equal to 12 and 1 half. And that you, of course, will write down on your answer sheet. See if I got it right. Yes. Excellent. We're going to write our quotients as mixed numbers, and then we're going to reduce that mixed number. Okay, example number 2. Again, you will write this down. It says divide 987 by 32. 987 by 32. Okay, it says we begin by breaking the division into the smaller division problem, 98 divided by 32. Okay, 32 is of course bigger than 9. Forget about it. No digit up here. 32 goes into 98 how many times? Well, I feel like we've taught this in the past. If I haven't, you can correct me tomorrow. But remember, we're kind of forgetting about the ones place for just a minute. How many times does 3 go into 9? Okay, and I know that this is kind of a shortcut to take, but it's just a way to get close to the correct answer. Okay, I know that 3 goes into 9 3 times. Now these numbers don't disappear, so don't erase them, don't cross them out, don't forget about them. But this should get you pretty close to the answer to the problem that we're looking for. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Is 96 still less than 98? Yes, it works in that situation. Okay, you subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. Bring down. Okay, 32 is clearly bigger than 27. So obviously it goes into it 0 times. Our answer again will be written as a mixed number of 30 and 27 over 32, or 27 30seconds. They show it, writing it with a remainder, and then they show us how to check it. Okay? Now this is your answer to this problem, 30 and 27 over 32. But if you ever wanted to check it, you would of course reverse the order, take 32 and multiply it by 30, times 30, I'll hang my 0 over. 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, and then add the remainder of 27. And if we add 27 to this number, 7, 6 plus 2 is 8, 9, our answer, 987, is equal to the dividend here. Okay, so this answer checks out. 30 and 27 over 32 is the correct answer for example number 2. Okay, again, write that number down. Example 3, we have another story problem. It says Loma Vista School expects an enrollment of 868 students. Okay, the principal wants to have about 24 teachers and 1 teacher per classroom. How many teachers are needed for the students at Loma Vista High School? Well, they want to know how many teachers, but they only give us the information for students. There are 868 students. It doesn't tell us how many teachers there are. So we need to take this information and figure out how many classrooms we'll have. Okay, 868 total students divided by 28 students per classroom will give us a pretty close, kind of an estimate of how many teachers we'll need. Okay, again, 24, obviously bigger than 8. So we need to go 86 divided by 24. Like I said earlier, if we get rid of these two numbers, 2 goes into 8 about 4 times. Okay, 2 goes into 8 4 times. So that's kind of where I'm going to start. 24 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 96. Looks like that's a little bit too big. I'm just going to drop it down 1. Instead of doing 4, I'm going to take 24 times 3. And 3 times 4 is 12. I guess I could put that over there. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. You subtract. You bring down. Okay? Now let's try it again. This time I'm going to round down. Okay? I have the number 148. Now again, I'm going to get rid of the ones place for now. Alright, how many times does 2 go into 14? It goes in there 7 times, but I do have this extra 4. It does exist still. So I'm going to drop it down. Instead of 2 times 7, I'm going to take 24 times 6. Because I think that'll get me a little bit closer to the answer that I'm looking for. And again, these numbers still exist. They didn't just disappear. Alright, 4 times 6 is 24. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Subtracting 144 from 148. 8 minus 4 is 4, and we have 0. I forgot to write my number, my quotient. 6 times 24 is 144. Now it looks like I have a remainder of 4. I'm going to put that in my numerator with my divisor and my denominator. I end up with 36 and 4 24s. This number is not reduced. I would like to reduce it. Again, my whole number doesn't change. 36 doesn't change. Is 24 divisible by 4? Yes, so let's divide both the numerator and the denominator by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 24 divided by 4 is 6. My answer is 36 and 1/6. It looks like their answer says about 35 teachers. Okay, they rounded, they estimated first. I kind of forgot that they were asking us for how many classrooms. We basically have 36 and 1/6 classrooms. Well, you'd have to round up to 37, right? I mean, you can't have 1/6 of the students spread out among the other ones. So I'd just round up and I'd say that the school needs 37 teachers. And that's the answer that I'd like you to put for example 3. I'm going to go through this problem again, but we're going to use estimation first. They did in the question say about how many teachers are needed for the students at Loma Vista School. So they were looking for an estimation, and we can find an estimation as well. All right, first let's take our numbers 868, and we have it divided by about 24 students. Okay, and that's what we did earlier. But now let's round those numbers. Let's round 24 to 25. Let's go to the nearest 25. 25 is easy to work with, and let's go with the number 868. They rounded to the nearest 25. They went up to 875, but I feel like we can make it a lot easier than that, and we can get a much more workable number. Let's just round to the nearest 100 for now. All right, if we round 868, this 6 tells me that we want to go up to 900. So let's take 25 divided by 900. 25 goes into 90 3 times. I know that 3 times 25 is 75, 4 times 25 is 100. Okay, subtract, we borrow, bring down. Again, I know that 4 times 25 is 100, and 2 times 25 is 50, so I'm just going to take 6 and multiply it by 25, okay? Because 4 times 25 is 100, if we add that to 2 times 25, we'll get 150. 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. We subtract, we have no remainder. About how many teachers will this principal need to hire? About 36 teachers. Okay, so our estimation, again, is very close to the exact